So this is from um, Catherine Ann Jones. She looks like an author. And she is citing Lizelle Reymond and Sri Anirvan from To Live Within. It's a book called To Live Within. And they say things will come and pass on. They do not come to stay. They are always on the move. One is neither attached nor detached from them. One simply looks on, standing in the heart of all movement without moving. So that is something to keep in mind as we practice. Thank you, Lisa, for the message about the camera angle. The only thing is, if I stand up, um, I don't want too much of my upper body to be cut off. So it looks like just my hands will be cut off, and that's okay because you know what hands look like. So hopefully this is good. Let's begin. I hope you all have blocks. If you don't, keep a pillow around. And good morning, Aggie is here as well. Good. So this is okay, so we have 6. Good morning. Um, if you didn't grab a pillow, those little sofa pillows are really nice. Anything that we can use to prop up in case we go there. I don't know for sure if that's what we're going to use. It's always good to have on hand if you don't have blocks. And let's begin our practice as we always do on a Sunday morning by sitting up nice and tall. By turning away at this time from the world. Just turning away from the world. It doesn't mean we don't care about the world. It doesn't mean we're not concerned about the world. It means that we have to go within ourselves to reestablish, to maintain an inner strength, and to strengthen it. And as we strengthen what we can call an inner light and our own connection to the divine source of all of life, then we are a stronger force for the entire world, especially for those that are in our closer circles. But that extends further and further and further outward and uh, ripples through the entire world, through all of our human family. We may not see it, it may not be apparent to us, but many have attested to that reality. So we turn away from the world for now and bring your attention internally. See if you can notice stiffness, and if you do, then begin to move out of that. And find that the breath is deepening just by that internal movement, that shifting of attention and awareness inwardly. And if we go deep enough, we come to a sense, an experience of inner quiet. As you continue to deepen the breath, let the muscles in the face relax. Now, we did this yesterday. So, if you weren't there yesterday, we're going to close the eyes very tightly and then relax the eyes. We can do that a couple more times on the inhale. Close the eyes tightly. Exhale, relax the eyes. Maybe exhale through the mouth. Inhale, close the eyes tightly. Exhale, relax the eyes. You're probably using the eyes differently now if you've been staying home. So feel them relax. Now, something different than yesterday. Let's see if we can go internally to the inner ears and tense up the inner ears. And let's just see if we could do that on the inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, release. Inhale. Exhale, release. And then a clearing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Ujjayi pranayama, deep breath in. Fog out. Fog in. Close the mouth, exhale through the nostrils. Even on the inhale, lips stay closed gently, and we're fogging inwardly and outwardly with the lips sealed. Be mindful of the movement of the trunk. Inhaling, belly expands, the rib cage, the chest, the collarbone expand in that order. Then the belly pulls in. Exhale, release from the collarbone, the chest, the rib cage, the belly. At the bottom of the exhale, the belly pulls in. Let that be this fluid movement. And we'll take a couple more, and then we'll be creating the sound of Om together. Feel free to join in if you haven't before. Feel free to listen. After that, Shiva mantra. Many of us are in here today who know this mantra. We chant with it together on Sundays. And again, we are together. We are together. Physically not together, but mentally we are very much together. Emotionally, we are very much together. And spiritually, we are very much together. So Shiva mantra, I'll be giving that meaning in a moment. And then followed by Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I bow to the presence of the divine within, our true and highest teacher that lives in and around us as being, consciousness, and bliss. It is ever present and radiates peace, lighting the way to transformation. Deep breath in. Next is Om at another note. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Let's get moving now in our physical practice. So we can come over to, let's find a table posture. Table posture, hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and then we'll find some movement with the hips just moving side to side. So just taking hips to the left and over to the right, side to side. And then we'll be finding circles with these hips. So begin to take the hips over towards one side, bring the hips down towards the heels, transfer them to the other side, and then come back to center. And then we'll move the other way. So let's actually do that. Let's go in one direction, and then once we come to center, we'll go into the other direction. Now you can incorporate the one side of the spine with this. So if you have the hips to one side, you might lift that side of the spine. Meaning that side of the back. And then you can travel maybe a couple times in one direction. A couple times the other way. And then we'll come right into center. And from here, let's take the hands forward all the way into heart chakra posture, Anahatasana. Palms all the way forward, forehead down to the mat. If it doesn't find the mat, this is the spot where a block would come in handy and the forehead could come to the block so that we can keep the forearms lifted, the tailbone reaching up and away from the wrists. Drawing the low belly up and in, sending the heart down. And we'll inhale, begin to rise up to table posture. Okay, from table posture, let's bring the forearms down to the mat so the elbows are underneath the shoulders. And we're going to find a cat-cow, but we're going to do this from forearms, just for different experience. So on the inhale, expand the lungs, let the diaphragm drop. The belly will drop as a result because it's nice and relaxed. The head can pick up. On the exhale, empty the lungs. The belly is needed to help empty the lungs. The diaphragm lifts back up and kind of pushes up into everything. And then the lungs empty, the head comes down. Inhale, expand. Exhale, release and contract. Take a few more of these. And then come to a neutral spine. Now let's lower the hips down and come into a child's posture for a moment. So you can keep the forearms down, and if you need to spread the knees, take the knees apart, big toes can touch. And then just sink the hips down and let the arms trail, lowering the forehead. Remembering you can create a height for the head so that the head isn't super low in comparison to the back. You kind of want to have it lined up. So that means the hips are a little higher up rather than dropping the forehead super low down. Then, just elevate the head with the hands, with the blocks, with the blanket. This is always a creative practice. And yet there are principles too that we adhere to. That's what, when we think about alignment and things like that. Couple deep breaths. Now, before we go further, take your mind to the heart center and let there be an image of a glowing white orb. It could also be a flame like image. And you might let that grow to fill the whole chest. You might even let there be that orb in the heart itself, the physical heart. And then let's find a clearing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Next inhalation, come back to the forearms where we were before. Now we're going to go a little bit deeper. Let's first bring the knees down before we go that route. We're going to take with the elbows down and the palms down. Take that right leg and extend it behind. So you have this right leg lifted. It's kind of neat that I can see myself at this point, so that I could see that my leg was lifted a little higher than I would have wanted, or lower. But let's take it high and feel that glute is engaged, that right side, and the left side too. And as you exhale, bring the knee to the nose. The head comes down, the knee draws in. Inhale, extend the leg behind, lift the head. Exhale, lower. This is 2. Let's take 4 more. Do your best to not round the shoulders, but squeeze them back. And then we'll exhale the right knee down. And we'll pick up the left leg. Pressing through the heel. We're holding it first, so before we rush into movement, you could take it up fairly high. So 6 times total, exhaling, knee towards the chest, head down. Inhaling, extending, lengthening. I lost count. I was thinking about something else, see what happens when the mind travels. Taking the knee in and then extending, and then we'll go ahead and bring the knee down. So from here, let's find a frog posture. I typically don't take classes into frog for specific reasons, but we're all home. So we're going to take the knees out to the right and then let the ankles be fairly lined up with the knees. And then from here, you have options. You might stay somewhat up, the trunk up, and having the hands come together to create a support for the forehead, for the head, for the neck. You might use a block. You might be able to get the forehead all the way down to the mat or one side of the face. So just check in and see what feels right. We'll be here for a few really nice deep breaths. So as you're here, breathing fully, being with all the sensations, and I mentioned I don't bring this to classes a lot. It's because I've read that this tends to be a very vulnerable position for people. And sometimes I've heard from people actually that, they'll often like break down when they're in this posture. And I think being in the safety of our home, if we do feel that way, then at least we have this kind of familiar environment that we're in to be able to be in that emotional space. We're going to take a couple deep breaths. And we'll start to rise out of this. And what we'll do is bring the forearms back down, bring the toes down, bring the knees in, and then come all the way down to the belly, all the way down to the belly. And let's just bring the hands somewhere towards the front of the mat. So they might be folded, our forearms folded, or, even if the palms are down. Just relax the low body for a moment. Let the heels show outward. And then we'll start to lift the head and bring the palms so that they're underneath the shoulders. So the palms, the hands are planted underneath the shoulders, and start to take the elbows back towards the waist. And what we'll do is find a cobra posture. Before we go there, bring the heels close together and activate the thighs, activate the glutes, and then begin to lift, pressing in gently to the palms, lifting the trunk, and then exhale, lower. And we're going to do this a few times. So forehead can come back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Let's notice the head for a moment. So before we go into the next one, the forehead is down. See how the head itself is in relation to the neck and the upper back. We're going to kind of maintain that. So inhale, press into the palms and lift, looking just past the front of the mat, and then exhale, lower. Continue. One more, which we'll hold for 3 deep breaths. These are not straight arms, most likely. They're probably bent. Exhale, lower. Bring the forearms to the mat. Lift the hips, and then set the legs so we can come back into a child's posture. Hips down, head down. Next inhale. Let's take the arms forward. Walk the arms over to the right. Nice clearing breath here. Inhale through nose. Exhale through mouth. Walk over to the left. Inhale through nose. Release through the mouth. And then we'll come to center. We're going to rise up to table posture and then come into downward facing dog, or if you have a variation that you take, find your variation. Maybe that's a table posture. Maybe it's a heart chakra pose, which we were in earlier. And we're going to look forward. Next exhale, float the feet forward to the top of the mat. Feet hips distance apart. Bend the knees and begin to unroll the spine. Take your time, couple deep breaths at least, to slowly rise. Once you've risen, rotate the shoulders. Take some nice circles. And then find the feet hips distance apart. Take the shoulders up, back, and then down. Let the palms face forward. Relax the jaw, but engage the thighs. Relax the eyes, but pull the pelvis in and engage the glutes. Relax the crown of the head, but lift the chest slightly. Relax the right shoulder blade, but keep it active. Relax the left shoulder blade, but keep it active. Take a breath in and out. Now, we also did this yesterday, and I found it very helpful. So we're going to take some circles with the arms. So you can let the palms face the thighs. And we'll just start with the right arm. So you're going to lift the right arm, take it forward, upwards, and then back, and the trunk is going to follow, kind of like you're taking like a backstroke. So we're starting in this direction. Now, we're only going to do the right arm. And so if we're doing that, I guess if we're swimming, we'd probably be going in circles. So notice all the clicking sounds. This helped me so much yesterday, and some of the other things, and the fact that, I've been practicing every day now, more consistently and at longer periods than I would have been before. And finally yesterday, I had found that my upper back was so much more relaxed, and I could feel the strength of it. But this specific movement really helped. Now we're going to reverse, and I found reversing to be much more difficult. So taking the arm behind, up, and forward, and continue like this. Just coordinate the breath. It doesn't have to go as slow as the breath, the arm, but the pace of the breath, keep it consistent. A few more. And then releasing the right arm. Before we take the other side, close the eyes and feel the right arm. Feel the left arm. Notice the right shoulder blade. Notice the left shoulder blade. And now we'll go ahead and work with the left side. So taking that left arm in circles. So first we're taking arm forward, up and back. Moving the trunk with the arm. Okay, maybe another circle this way. And then we'll be reversing. Taking the arm behind, up and forward. Where you feel the most resistance is probably the muscles that need a little bit more strengthening. A few more. I find my right side to be much more challenging in different ways. So once you're ready, release the arms and take a moment to be aware of the different experiences, the way that you experienced differently, the right arm, the left arm. Notice how they're feeling now in comparison to each other. Notice the shoulder blades, the shoulders, the arms, the fingers. And then from here, let's face the side of the mat and open the legs out to a T. Bring the arms open to a T as well. I said the legs to a T. I meant to open the legs, separate the feet, but bring the arms to a T. Now, as we're here, take a nice clearing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And take the arms up overhead, and then find opposite elbows with your hands. And right from here, engage the thighs and just begin to look upwards, so letting the head come back slightly. Another deep breath. And bring the arms up, take them to a T. We're going to find extended triangle posture. If you're going to use a block, make sure that you've got it around. We're going to be going into the right side first. So if you're using it, you'll have it by the right foot. I'm going to go in a mirror image with you today. So what we'll do is turn the toes, right toes to the right, and the left toes pretty much where they are, but maybe slightly inwards. Bring the arms to a T. And just for a moment, let's just like move the trunk right and left a little bit. Kind of like we're situating the trunk and the hips, and we're just loosening just a little bit the connection there. And then we'll come back to center and feel the trunk upright. Lower the arms as the shoulders have done some work. So give them a couple circles. And then bring the arms to a T once again. So Utthita Trikonasana, extended triangle posture. Like we did before, reach out forward with the right arm and then pause here. See where the trunk is, it's over the right leg. You want it to stay there. Bring the hand to the inside of the leg and then take the left arm upwards. Now if you bring the hand on top of the leg, that's okay, but then you're probably going to get lazy in the trunk, and we don't want to be lazy. So check in, particularly in the waist, the obliques, and the core. Now, if it feels right, maybe bring the hand to a block to the inside or the outside of the leg. So you could experiment, but just keep the core active while you're making those adjustments. And then look up past the left hand. Let's take a couple more deep breaths. Remembering that the trunk is right over the right leg. It's not moving over and away from it to the other side of the mat. It's right over. Now from here, we'll find a twisting dragonfly. So we can bring the the left hand down and then lunge into the right knee, plant the left palm, and then inhale the right arm up. The back heel will lift. Another deep breath. Bring the hand down. Settle the left heel down. Rise up to warrior A. So that right knee is lunging, the back leg is straight, left heel is planted, and arms are reaching upwards. So right knee is forward. I'm in a mirror image. I think I probably shouldn't have gone there because it does get confusing sometimes on either side of the camera. But let's find another deep breath here. And now we're going to come back to our star posture by pivoting the feet to the sides of the mat. Bring the arms to a T. Close the eyes. Come back to that central light that we identified earlier in the heart center. As you take deeper breaths, see that you're feeding that flame. Take the arms up. Find hands to opposite elbows. Let the head come back slightly. Keep the thighs engaged. Let the air out through the mouth. And then come back to a victorious breath. Bring the arms upwards and out to a T. And then we're going to prepare for extended triangle posture on the other side. So if you needed the block before, not needed, but utilize the block, then go ahead and bring it towards the foot. Then we'll turn the left toes to face the short side of the mat that it's closest to. And then the right toes can come in slightly. And we're just going to start by moving first the trunk towards one hand and then towards the other. Being mindful, not overdoing it. And then we'll come back to center. Release the arms. Roll the shoulders a few times. And then we'll take the arms back to a T and preparing Uttita Trikonasana, reach out with the left hand. Lower it down to the leg, maybe to the inside or the outside where you have some support. That little touch is a nice support, or you might use the block. And that left arm is the right arm is reaching upwards, gazing up past the right fingertips. Make sure that you're not collapsing the chest. So you want to press the chest out. And to keep taking the right arm up and over. Lower the shoulder away from the ear, the neck. From here, twisting dragonfly, look down at the right foot and then look down at the left foot and then bend into the knee and lift the back right heel up. Plant the right palm down. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale the left hand down. Bring the right heel down to the mat. Rise up to warrior A. Arms reach up. Left knee is lunging. Right leg is straight and strong. And then we're going to turn to the side of the mat once again and come to start posture. Arms are open out to a T. Take the arms above. Find opposite elbows with the hands. And then just start to move through a little bit of side bends here. So exhaling to one side, inhaling to center. Exhaling to the other. Inhaling to center. Take a few more. This is a very different class than our typical Sunday class, isn't it? Take one more to even out. And then once you come to center, just again, bring the head back slightly into those arms. Reach the arms up. Exhale the hands behind the tailbone this time. Interlace the fingers. Wide leg forward fold, letter C. Squeeze the shoulders back, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Nice deep breath in. Release tension all out through the mouth. Come up halfway and then all the way up. Release the hands from each other, heel to the feet, closer together. One more standing posture before we come down to the floor again. So there are so many things going on. Usually this time of year, I'm so in tune with the trees. And I realized yesterday as I was with the trees, um, you know, giving some hugs, receiving some back, that I've only paid so much attention. This is the time where already the sap is moving up and has already begun moving into the branches, from the roots up into the branches. And I love to celebrate that every year. So I want to remember this is still, you know, we're entering spring. This is still a beautiful time to celebrate nature and what is occurring with all of the plant life right now. So, what we'll do is we'll come into tree posture, and you can use a wall if you're close to one. Find your way to a wall. We're going to be standing on the left leg first, so that will be our standing trunk. You can begin with hips distance apart. We can begin with palms together, thumbs to the heart center. And now we want to set up the low body. We want to set up the trunk, because if the trunk is crooked and weak, then the tree will definitely fall over at some point. So we want to build a strong tree. So we can begin by, when we feel the feet planted, I will face the camera. Feel the feet planted and engage the thighs upwards. Engage them, you feel the kneecaps rise. Pull the pelvis in and feel the glutes rise. So this is part of that strong trunk. The core is as well. So you feel that the core drew in a little bit and it kind of firmed up actively. And then the chest, lift the chest, because if the chest starts to fall, then we're going to feel a sense of wanting to fall forward. So we want to leave the chest lifted, bring the chin in slightly, and calm the muscles in the face, right? Don't create tension there. Shift your weight over to the left leg. And then when you're ready, bring the right foot to the inside of the left leg. Now, it can be all the way towards the ankle if it helps to keep the toes on the mat. It can be all the way up towards the groin, which you would help the foot with the hand. Keep that left thigh engaged. If you're on carpet, it's going to create a little bit of an extra challenge. Just be with that challenge. Even if it, makes you fall, it's okay. You simply come back, maybe adjust by using the wall. Maybe you're ready to take the arms up. And once you establish your position, feel just like a tree through the soles of the feet, maybe even below, like down into the earth. Feel energy, right? Because that's what is occurring. There's energy moving that sap that is like the life force of that tree, and it's going upwards. And the right knee is pressing out to the right to keep the trunk stable. Now I feel like just moving my arms in this specific motion over and over a few times, feeling inwardly energy rising up through the crown of the head. Arms may be still or maybe moving externally with that internal motion of energy. Another deep breath. We'll bring palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Step the foot down, roll the ankles. We're going to get ready for the other side. So first, feet planted, engage the thighs, pull the pelvis in, feel the rib cage come outwards, the heart lift upwards, the chin inward. And then when you're ready, shift over, bringing weight to the right leg, left foot to the inside of the right leg this time. Maybe using the wall, you can have the right hand on the wall. And once you have your position established, come back and internally focus on energy from earth rising up through the trunk. And we can lift them up and out of the crown of the head and maybe incorporate some movement with the arms. Keep your eyes on something in front of you that isn't moving. Identify with that stillness just for this movement or for this position. Almost there. And then when you're ready, palms together, thumbs to the heart center. Step the foot down, roll the ankles. And that was our celebration of plant life. And we know we're all connected, so the animals are also celebrating. So we're going to find our way to the top of the mat. And then from here, reach the arms upwards. Bring the palms together, thumbs to the heart center. From here, fold. So we have thumbs to the heart center, fold. Right from here, release the hands down, separate the feet to the edges of the mat, and then fold here for some deep breaths. Now, this is a spot where I really like to have my palms down when I'm in an active variation, palms down, feet down, limbs straight, straight arms, straight legs. See what feels right. Maybe you prefer bent legs, dangling arms. Okay, on the next inhalation, come up halfway and lengthen the spine. Now you can have the fingers facing downwards. Now go ahead and take the fingers like they're going to try to find the mat. Feel the shoulders round. Now pick up the shoulders into the sockets, to the shoulder sockets. So then we'll exhale, release, and lower. And then do this a few times. Inhaling, coming up halfway, fingers can face down. Pull the shoulders up into the sockets. And then exhale, release, and begin again. Inhaling, drawing shoulders up and in. Look forward. Exhale, release. A few more. And we'll exhale, lower. Heel toe the feet so they come closer together, hips distance. Bring the palms down. Step one foot back, step the other foot back. And then from here, we're in a table posture. Let's take a few cat-cow motions. And then come into a neutral spine. I'm going to face you. I don't actually have enough room to do this from where I am. So the next inhale, like we did before, pick up that right leg. Pick up the right leg and send it behind. And then take your right leg over to the right, all the way over to the right, and set the foot down. So once that foot is down, turn the toes so they're facing inward, and then pick up the right arm. Now this right arm, take a nice big circle with it. So earlier we took a bunch of circles. See if you could take kind of like loose circles. Take the arm back, down, forward. Maybe a wave up and over a couple times and then towards the back. And then we'll set the hand down. Pick up the right leg, take it back, and then set the knee down. And then we'll work with the other leg. Inhale the left leg behind. Take the leg over to the left. And again, you have toes facing inward. You can feel the ankle stretch. Inhale, pick up the left arm. Now find some free flowing movement here. Maybe some waves up and over and then towards the back. And then we'll set the hand down. Pick up the left leg, bring it back, and we're in table posture. From here, we're going to come into a pigeon's posture. So if you prefer to take this on the back, feel free to go to the back. And for those that are staying with heart down, you'll take that right leg, you might pick it up, and then take the right knee to the right hand, slide the left leg back, maybe find a back bend first, and then lower all the way down. Now, for those that are on the back, most of you already know what you're doing, where you're going, since we've mostly practiced together. So if you're on the back, right ankle to right thigh, you're picking up the left leg and you're holding the left leg with the arms. You know, any like major tightness, we make adjustments. I've seen people put their left foot on a block. I've seen all kinds of different creative adjustments, and this is what, again, we're sticking to basic principles regarding alignment, but we're adjusting around them. So let's be here in the fullest breath possible, allowing for sensation of sinking into this posture. And the more and more relaxed we become, that inner light, that inner flame, that glowing orb that we were picturing in our minds earlier gets brighter and brighter, maybe stronger, more constant, maybe filling the body, maybe penetrating the mind and really letting us feel that divine part within ourselves that is connected to all of life. And take another deep breath. Begin to find your way out of this. See if there's a counter position that you would like. Maybe table or downward facing dog, right leg moving behind. Maybe if you're on the back, it's a happy baby or knees to chest, rocking side to side. And then when you're ready, come into this other side in the same way or similar way that you found the right side. Completely absorbed in this posture. So aware of every part of the body, complete experience, the whole experience as you concentrate on it. Couple more breaths. And then we'll start to rise up. And again, see what feels right. So if you're on the back, so you stay there. And let's meet in on our seats. So once you find a seat, maybe sitting in the block or sitting on a blanket if that helps you, so you could keep the spine nice and tall. So once you're seated, hands to the knees, roll the shoulders a few times. We'll find a side bend here. Take the right hand out, the palm down, slide the hand away, lift the left arm up. And then from here, nice deep breath, but then start to take the trunk towards the right thigh And bring the left hand down, folding into the right thigh. Let the head go. Walk to center, and then unroll the spine. The head is the last to rise. And from here, you can bring the left hand down, slide the left hand away on the mat, pick up the right arm up and over for a side bend to the left. Find a deep breath. And then turn the trunk to the left thigh and fold into it. Now the legs are positioned in a certain way that will make each side feel a little different from the other. Walk to center. Unroll the spine. Twist to the right, left hand to right knee, right hand behind. Get tall and turn. Come to center, twist to the left. Come to center. Switch the order of the legs so that the other ankle is in front or under the opposite leg. And then we'll go ahead and come over back to the left, finding a side bend to the left. The left hand down, right arm up and over. Fold into that knee, that thigh once again. We're going to walk to center. Unroll the spine. I'll bring the right hand down, bend to the right, left arm up and over. We're just about ready to rest. And then bring this hand down, fold into that leg. Walk to center. Unroll the spine. Take the right leg out to the right. The left knee, the left heel is centered. This is where we want it. And then just begin to fold forward. You can walk the hands forward. And keep the spine nice and long. You might be able to bring hands to blocks or elbows, forearms to blocks so that you can keep the spine tall rather than rounding. Let's check in with this right foot and flex and point the foot a few times, circling, drawing in and pointing, drawing in. And another deep breath here. And then inhale, rise, switch legs. Keep the spine fairly straight, just hinge from the hip crease. And then check in. Once you're here, notice the tightness in the back of the leg and help loosen that up by moving the ankle. Remembering that the body all connected. There's no part of the body that's isolated from the other, even if it seems to be the case. It's just not the case. And then we can flex the foot and find some deep breaths. With the eyes closed, breath long and deep. Just notice the internal experience. The mind focused on this practice, free from any other concerns at this time. Just focused on the breath, on the sensation, and that glowing orb within, that connection that we have to all of life. Feeling the peace of all of that. And then inhale, begin to rise. Release the blocks. That's it. We're getting ready to go down and rest. But just check in and see. I'm going to leave it up to you to see if there's something else that you feel you want to get in. So maybe you want to take some circles with the head. Make sure that you don't have tension there in the neck and that it feels just as open as everything else. Knowing where you hide your tension. If it's the neck, work with the neck. If you can sense that the low back needs a little attention, maybe a back bend, you're going to find your way to your back, all the way down to the back. Once you're on the back, check in. Maybe it's a bridge posture. I'm leaving it up to you again. Maybe it's side, simple spinal twist, taking one knee to the opposite side, or both knees to the opposite to one side together. See, explore, feel what is next. And we feel what is next by being with what is now. So we'll all get there at our own time, little by little, making our way to Shavasana, our final resting posture, corpse posture. The yogis are not afraid to think about death. In fact, there are many death meditations to help us realize what is real, to help us understand what are the processes of life and our own human evolution that we go through. And so now it is the time to feel that this body is completely still and that within it is something that is much more lasting than this physical body anyway. And so we let it go. We release it completely. We feel at this time that the muscles in the face can let go. If tensing the eyes helps, we were crunching them earlier today, closing them very tightly and then relaxing. If that helps, take that. Or tensing the whole body on the inhale and exhaling and relaxing that. And then eventually completely releasing, relaxing, feeling that the jaw is softened, the eyes are softened, the crown of the head also soft. The left hand is released, the right hand is released. The left foot is released, the right foot is released. The legs are relaxed. The body is resting completely. And on the outside, it looks like the body is completely still. And on the inside, everything is still moving. There's still motion. There's still life traveling through, energy coming in. What is unneeded is leaving. And we can feel maybe even the point of the circulation of the blood. You might notice the pulsing of the heart. You might notice that pulse echoing in the neck, in the wrists, echoing maybe even in the belly. And even as you notice that internal motion that you are not doing at all, that nature is doing for you, you might sink back into that heart center. See that light that we look to in our practice today. And in the words of I.K. Taimni, see that light as the light of reality, shining uninterruptedly in its fullest splendor. Within you is the light of reality, shining uninterruptedly in its fullest splendor. Within you is the light of reality, shining uninterruptedly in its fullest splendor. Resting. Continue to stay in this position, not changing the breath or anything at this time, and just being with some of the sounds that you'll hear. And we can consider these as maybe the sounds of nature, nature is harmony. And you hear in the bowls exists harmony. And at this time, begin to deepen the breath. Begin to move very slowly through hands, feet, maybe circling the arms, finding some length. Taking knees into the chest, arms around the knees. Slowly find your way to seated. And we're going to seal the practice today, as we usually do in our Sunday practice. I'll be helping us remember, right? And allowing us to actually feel our thoughts going outward into the world. We went away from the world. We intentionally retreated, we withdrew, we went inwardly in our practice. We talked about how that is necessary to strengthen ourselves. It is necessary. And then when we fill up and we strengthen and we feel that internal joy and bliss and as much as we possibly can in whatever way we can, then we come back alive again. We just died in Shavasana. We come back alive and we send our calm and loving thoughts outward into the world to fill the world with the same connection that we all have within ourselves. And our thoughts are so powerful. So we want to remember that this is what our practice is for in the end. And so we can bring palms together, thumbs to the heart center. I'll offer that chant. We'll sound Om together, and then Shanti. And if you've been learning the mantra, you'll chant with me. And if you want to sit quietly and sit for meditation after this, I will be ringing the bowls a little bit. And you're more than welcome to just keep this on as you do that. But let's start with the clearing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Svasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahi mahisha go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Deep breath in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I honor the light in you that is the same light in me. Namaste. It's the same light. It's the same divinity in me that is in you. So thank you for being here. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It will be different or the same as yesterday. I don't know. All of our lives look very different than they did just 8-9 days ago. So at this time, if you'd like to stay in this, utilize your practice to sit in meditation, feel free. Also, feel free to chat in the box, to write me back. Let me know you were here if I didn't already know. And thank you. That's a beautiful thing to say, Jennifer. Oh, Jennifer, that's a beautiful thing to say. Thank you.